Yeah, but sometimes like
Saturday.
we do the Purnima of the end, Uttana Ekadashi. But yeah, we all offered diya yesterday just to be sure that it was a very auspicious day, Prabhuji, yesterday, right? Sharad Purnima and all that. And also, Prabhuji, just a reminder to you that Prabhuji, are you there? Okay, just a reminder that after the Srimad Bhagavatam class, if you can share something about Sharad Purnima and Damodar Leela, so that way we can make Srimad Bhagavatam little shorter and then discuss glories of Kartik Maas and Lord Damodar. Is that okay, Prabhuji? Hari Bol. So it is recording now. I think Prabhuji is on mute. Okay, yeah, Prabhuji, I can hear you now. So today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Ramshada Prabhuji from Mayapur, India, and today he will enlighten us on the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's 7:8:49. And then after that, we will discuss the Damodar Leela and maybe a little bit about Sharat Purnima and the beginning of how this Kartik Maas starts like that. So take over, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, I shared the verses 1 to 4, 17, and 18. So everybody can sing the initial prayers with
What is the
you.
verse?
So I don't know which one.
Please tell me once again the verse.
No. Oh, the verse today? Okay, the verse is today
Yeah.
7:8:49. Prahlad Maharaj's
40.
Narchika
Okay.
Dev glory is going on. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so I don't know, Prabhuji, which one will you sing first? 1 to 17 or 18 or 1 to 4?
What?
Because we will follow along. We're not able to pronounce. You remember
What you're talking about?
last time you shared that the prayers that you do in the beginning,
Yeah, yeah.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Yeah. So which one you're starting,
Okay.
Prabhuji, with? Is it 1 to 4, 17 or 18?
1 to 4.
Okay, okay. Okay. So I shared with the group so everybody can follow along with that
Okay.
also. Yeah, please take over,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jai Ho. Jai Ho. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sivatapadagalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sri Gurum Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatha Santam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Vrita Sri Chakantam Om Jnana Timiranda Sri Jnananjana Shalaka Chakshuru Mritamena Tasmai Sri Guru Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Charni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashadesh Tamam Padaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Narayana Nam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Sri Vashavana Vidya Dayataya Krishna Bhakta Krishna Dayataya Krishna what is it? Okay, one second. Dayataya Kripa De Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dhyane Prabhave Namaha Madhurojjala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Sri Murte Virutarini Rupanuga Virudha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Hari Panchakalpataruva Sakripa Sindha Vishapatitanam Bhavane Vaishnavi Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namaste He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopi Sugopika Kant Radha Kanta Namaste Kapta Kanta Namaste Radhe Vrindavan Vishayavana Sudhi Devi Pranami Hari Ekam Surato Angor Mama Vanda Matargati Matsara Sapatam Bhaja Shri Radha Madan Mohan Divyat Vrindarani Kalpadramata Srimad Ratnangara Simhasana Shri Radha Sila Govinda Devam Vestal Visevya Manos Human Rasa Saram Gopinath Shriyasma Vrindaya Tulsidevaya Tulakase Navakti Prade Devi Satyavata Namo Namo Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Purva Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Everybody Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everybody.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Namo
Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayana Kritya
Narayan
Narayanam
Kritya
Kritya
Naranchayava Narottamam
Naranchayva
Naranchayan
Narottamam.
Narottaram
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim
Devim
Vyasam.
Saraswati
Vyasam
Vyasam
Tato Jayam Dhirayet.
Tato
Tato
Jayam
Tato
Udire.
Jayam
Jayam
Udiraye.
One of you should read the translation.
Okay, Prabhuji, I can read that. So
Yes, please.
before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nar Narayana, Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Right. Srimataam Swakata Krishna
Shravanatam Swakata
Shrivatam
Shrivatam
Sakata Krishna.
Savakata Krishna
Punya Shravana Kirtana
Punya Shravana
Punya
Punya
Kirtana.
Shravana Kirtana
Hridyantastoya Badrani
Hridyantasya Bhadrani.
Vidyantasya Abhadrani
Vidunoti Suhrat Satam.
Vidhanvati Shirsatam.
Vidurnoti Suhat Satam. You want me to read the translation?
Somebody else
Okay.
can do that
Puja
one.
Mataji. Yeah. Puja Mataji, go ahead. Or somebody else can do. If they have it
Yeah.
open on
You
the
want
Veda
me to
base.
read in English or Hindi?
English,
It doesn't
Mataji?
matter Hindi or English, whatever. If you have English,
Okay,
you can
Hindi.
do.
Okay,
Hindi also is good, yeah.
yeah, today I'll speak in Hindi, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
या प्रत्येक हृदय में परमात्मा स्वरूप स्थित तथा सत्यनिष्ठ भक्तों के हितकारी भगवान श्री कृष्ण उस भक्त के हृदय से भौतिक भोग की इच्छा को हटाते हैं जिसने उनकी कथाओं को सुनने में रुचि उत्पन्न कर ली है, क्योंकि ये कथाएं ठीक से सुनने तथा कहने पर अत्यंत पुष्टप्रद हैं।
Right. Nashta Prayesha Vadreshu
नष्ट प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
नित्यं
Nityam
भागवत सेवया
Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
भगवती उत्तम
भगवती उत्तम
श्लोके
श्लोके
Shloke
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
भक्तिर्भवति न
Bhaktir
भगवती
Bhagavati
नैष्टिकी।
Nashti.
Read the translation, Chitra Mataji.
Prabhuji, which verse we are on actually?
Mataji,
Canto 1, chapter 2, text 18.
Canto 1, chapter 2, text 80. Just hold on, Prabhuji, I'll open on my phone.
Okay.
also, Mataji, if you are on Everyday Chant Harinam conference, that's a WhatsApp group, we just shared it there.
Okay, Mataji, I'll open it there only. So
Yeah, it'll be faster because we
1
already
to
shared the
18,
link there.
Mataji?
Yes.
Okay, so to read the Sanskrit part also, Mataji, right?
Yes,
Just the
you can do
translation,
the
English or Hindi. Yeah.
Okay, so Okay. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. This is the shloka. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Purport by,
Right.
purport by
No, just
Srila.
the translation.
No, no,
Oh,
no
Sorry.
purport. We are doing today's verse. Very
Okay.
good.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
No problem. So we are doing verse number. What was the verse number again? I forget.
7,
Verse
8,
number.
49.
Okay, 7th canto,
8.
chapter 8, text 49.
Yes.
Chapter title: The Lord slays the king of the demons. Sri Prajapataya Uchu. Everybody.
Shri Prajapate
Brajesha Vayam
Brajesha Vayam
Vayam
Te
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 Pareshabhi Shrishta
Paresha Bhishta
Vishishta
Na Yena Praja
Nayena
Nayena Praja
Vaisrijamo Nishiddaha
Vaisrajamyahu Nishityaha
Vaisraja Nishidana
Sa Esha Tvaya Bhinna
Saye
Sa
Satabhinna
Ishavana
Vakshanu Shete
Vakshanu Shete
Vakshanu Pete
Jagan Mangalam Sattva
Jagan
Jagan Mangala
Sattva
Sattva
Murte Avataraha.
Murte Avatara.
Avatara.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Prajapatis offered their prayers as follows. O Supreme Lord, Lord of even Brahma and Shiva, we the Prajapatis were created by you to execute your orders, but we were forbidden by Hiranyakashipu to create any more good progeny. Now the demon is lying dead before us, his chest pierced by you. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisance to you, whose incarnation in this form of pure goodness is meant for the welfare of the entire universe. This particular verse has no purport, so we are going to go to the next verse. Sri Gandharva Uchu. Repeat.
Shri Gandharva Uchu
Ucho
Vayam Vibhote
Vayam Vibhote
Vibhute
Natanatya Ghayaka
Natanatya Gayaka
Yenatmasad Virya
Yenat Masad Vidya
Palo Jasa Kritaha
Valo Jasa Pitah
Sa Esha Nilo Bhavanta
Saesha Nilo Bhavanta
Das Dasam Imam
Dasaima
Prasantinam
Kim Utpat Hastaha
Kim Utpat
Kim Utpatastaha
Kushlaya Kalpate.
Kushalaya Kalpate
Kalpate
Kalpate.
The inhabitants of Gandharva Loka prayed, Your Lordships, we ever engage in your service by dancing and singing in dramatic performance. But this Hiranyakashipu, by the influence of his bodily strength and valor, brought us under his subjugation. Now he has been brought to this low condition by your Lordship. What benefit can result from the activities of such an upstart as Hiranyakashipu? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. By being a very obedient servant of the Supreme Lord, one becomes extremely powerful in bodily strength, influence, and effulgence. Whereas the fate of demoniac upstarts is ultimately to fall down like Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu and persons like him may be very powerful for some time, but the obedient servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like the demigods, even remain powerful always. They are victorious over the influence of Hiranyakashipu by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So you can see, I remembered one thing that happened in India's history. When the British were ruling, some group of people like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and other people, they were called Bhadralok, means upstarts. Their idea was to behave and do everything what the British were doing. They would not eat with hands, they would eat with spoons, they had to eat on a table and chair, everything. Because the influence of the British was such, they give you a feeling that we are more civilized than you. You guys are sitting on the floor, eating. This is only the low class people do. They had their own idea what is high class and low class. Like Hitler also had an idea who is Aryan and who is not an Aryan. So what happens in these people who support this type of rulers, they themselves after some time they vanish. Today nobody hears about that group of people, but there are enough people who are imitating this modern civilization. Like for example, many Indians go to West, they want to adopt that life because America is not so much population. So you have a lot of space there. You can walk and there is a lot of space there. In India, it may not be like that. It is, people are all over the place. If you have your own little garden, you are fortunate. Otherwise, you cannot walk on the street for a walking. Maybe early in the morning before the traffic starts. But once the traffic starts, it is heavily crowded. Motorcycles, buses, everybody honking like anything. And this also the product of the modern civilization, Kali Yuga. Everybody has a motorcycle, everybody, they stick the mobile in their neck and put a helmet on top of that so that they can go on speaking all the time to their customers or to the friends or whatever it is. And honking is another, playing the horn so loud that you have to practically close your ears. So the demons have given us so much so-called facilities. We can go very fast, we can connect to the whole world by WhatsApp. Now, for example, we are connected to the Zoom. So in a way, it is a lot of facilities are coming. But these facilities are in the mode of ignorance, actually. And due to these facilities, people, they don't take time to go and visit their friends or visit a sadhu or invite a sadhu to one's house. Everything is done online. Online means what? You are at a distance. You are maybe 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, maybe 1,000 kilometers. I'm sitting in the Godrum Dip and you are all sitting in America. It's almost 10,000, 10 to 15,000 kilometers distance. So we sort of get used to it. And being Indians, we are very expert in adjusting things. You know, we don't condemn anybody. Chalo bhai, this is the opportunity, just have it. Whereas when the Americans come to India or the non-devotees people come, they see dirt everywhere. They see beggars everywhere. They see cows everywhere. And nobody follows any rules of the street. Everybody goes everywhere. They don't see any good thing in India. Sad. That's why when some press reporter asked Prabhupada, why did you come to West? And then he replied a very nice way. Yes, you came to India and took away everything. But I come to give what you did not take it. That is how to love God. Very nice way he put it. You did not know that the richness of the Vedic culture and the richness of devotional service, they did not have any idea. Even though in every house in those days, people are worshipping Krishna, all the great devotees like Lord Shiva and so on and so forth. But they will not take such things. They will have to brainwash all the people, make sure they forget the Sanskrit, and English should be the medium of education. And now we are speaking in English also, unfortunately, or fortunately, because it has something to do with Krishna Katha, then any language is good enough. But India, the national language was practically Sanskrit. Everybody knew how to speak, read, write, everything. And the British came, they educated, they introduced the British system and made the people forget Sanskrit. Now you hardly see anybody speaking Sanskrit. IITs and IIS, Indian Institute of Science, this is what is more prominent. And people are carried away. Naturally, influence of Kali is very there. So just like when Hiranyakashipu was there, due to his influence, none of the Gandharvas could sing and dance. Nowadays, there are some Muslim preachers, they say this dancing and all is haram. They even say that. And all the musical instruments is also haram. They only can play duff, that's all. Duff is a round instrument and that's the only way. Because in those days, when Muhammad came, there were no musical instrument, there was no culture like that. But in India, from time immemorial, there was music, arts, everything. And everything was dedicated to only one thing, to glorify Krishna. So even the temples which were constructed, nowadays nobody can even construct, costing millions and millions and billions of dollars. Sometimes all temple is made in one piece of rock. Huge temple. How did they, how advanced they were in architecture, everything was perfect. Pillars are coming, it's not like something is coming here and something is coming there. No, everything was perfect. They knew the science of mathematics, geometry, this, that, everything. And sometimes the big stone dome on top of the temple. How did they lift that stone dome, which is the stone dome, which weighs about hundreds of tons? So they had a system, they could do that through elephants and different things. There were no cranes like nowadays. So due to the influence of asuras, we will also change our thinking power, capacity, the way of thinking, way of discussing, and we'll have more confidence in our education, our modern systems. Not that it is bad or good, but the process is this asuric education, everything will make us forget Krishna very fast. Because you become very expert in manipulating material nature. And when you manipulate material nature and you become expert, then you don't feel the need of God should be there. God is only for those people who have failed in their life. They don't understand that God consciousness was the success of Vedic culture. I was hearing to a couple of lectures from Prabhupada and Radha Govinda Maharaj, and he said the purpose, summum bonum, is to please Krishna. The duties of Grahastha life, it was a beautiful chapter, and all this, how much they have emphasized that the goal. Narada Muni says, even if we are the most fallen, if you somehow or other take up the chanting of the holy name, your life becomes perfect. From the lowest level, you can go to the highest level. So these possibilities are there in Vedic culture, where things are governed by saintly people, munis, who are always thinking of the Lord. So the recommendation of the householders is to go to the thoughtful people, devotees, or you invite them to your place. Now we are also using the modern technology. We are also having Sangha like that. We're discussing about Krishna. This is the purpose of this usage. This is the best purpose. The best, what is it called? Make the best use of the bad bargain. We have used it. You see? So Prabhupada has taught us utility is the principle. Prabhupada printed all these books in computers. In India, when he was printing books, the first 3 volumes of Bhagvatam, he had to go alone to Delhi and proofread himself, and it was all letterpress. There's no offset press or nothing like that. It was quite a struggle, but somehow or other he printed 3 volumes. And later, when he came to West, with the assistance of his disciples, he engaged all the disciples, and they printed these books in no time. I remember Chaitanya Charitamrita, when it was being printed. In 2 months, we printed all the 17 volumes. Prabhupada went on a marathon. He never left Los Angeles temple. So unless all the books are printed, and every week new books would come. And we would get it all over the world. And we were all bliss that we are getting Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is the influence of one sadhu who could engage the whole world and all the resources in Krishna's service. And he went to one of the topmost printers, Dai Nippon in Japan. In Delhi, when he was coming to Delhi, there was a small little printing company. But he was dealing with Dai Nippon, and they were dealing in like 100,000 copies of Bhagavad Gita, 50,000 copies of Bhagavatam, and oh my goodness, what a humongous numbers Prabhupada used to do. He had a big plan. Like Krishna is the greatest, and his devotees also do the greatest things to glorify Krishna. So he was actually teaching us by his example how to use every penny, every poor thing, your $1 million, whatever you have, use it in Krishna's service, because at the time of death, you have to leave everything behind. So we have to be very, very expert in engaging our resources, whatever we have, house, car, this, that. Now that we have, we cannot reject, because we need it practically in the Western world. You need all these things to make you, to go to even supermarket, you need a car. It's not like you're going to the market nearby in India, you take your little bag and walk it up, and fill up a few things and then come back home. You cannot do that in America. The supermarkets are so far away. Sometimes you have to drive for 50 kilometers. And it's a special type of lifestyle. You carry this huge hand wagon. The wagon itself is so huge, you have to throw so many things in it. And then you put it in the back, what is it? The place where you put all the luggage, and you drive back to the home. And then you have 2 refrigerators, one in the garage, another in the kitchen. The garage refrigerator has all the stuff one can ever imagine. I've seen it. I was in America and I saw it. What a struggle for existence. There's so many refrigerators. It's going to cost to run the electricity. It will cost you more. You have to pay electric bill like anything. So this is the influence of the asuras. Everything they do to excess, and they'll make a struggle for existence like anything. Therefore, we have to learn from the sadhus how to minimize to such a degree, just have what is important. Prabhupada was sitting in Vrindavan. He hardly had anything. If you have been to the Radha Damodar, he had only 2 rooms and 1 small kitchen. No, 1 room and 1 kitchen. He would just cook something simple, and he would write these books and he'd do his bhajan. And he prepared himself to go to America. And he was in the middle of the night, he was grooming the Rupa Goswami's courtyard. And he would cry and cry and cry. And all these other sadhus who are living by, they were wondering, who is crying the whole night? And then they discovered it was Prabhupada. He was crying, I'm so unqualified. And you have given me this order. I got this order from my guru to preach in the Western world. But I have no resources. And it is said, Rupa Goswami appeared to Prabhupada and he said, everything is arranged, you just have to go. That's all. Go to America, you will get everything. And Krishna arranged everything. This is the influence of sadhus. Rupa Goswami's influence, all great sadhus. So Prabhupada has given us a methodology by which we can engage everything in Krishna's service. We are using mobile, now we are using so many AI and whatnot, they are doing so many things. Hopefully it will not go overboard. Because if you use too much, then you become very dependent on that. Then you cannot even think straight anymore. So we'll stop at this point. If there are any questions before we proceed further on the Damodar Leela or other pastimes of the Lord.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much
Yes.
for today's class. Very nice. Prabhuji, this is not part of your verse, but if you see the verse before this about
Yeah.
Manu and stuff, can you little bit explain about that also? I was not able to concentrate too much yesterday and understand. It seemed important to me because it's mentioned about Vivashavan and uh, some other things. If you can little bit 5 minutes do that, and then we can go to the other one.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel I heard properly, so it's not a justice to the.
1 minute.
Sorry
Text
to. It's
49.
48.
48. Okay.
48.
Text.
If you can quickly, we can go through. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the translation of purport, maybe. Just translation purport, we can go through quickly.
Okay. Text 48. Tasmad arthascha kamascha dharmascha yad apashraya bhajataniha yatmanam antam harim ishwar. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The four principles of advancement in spiritual life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all depend on the disposition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, my dear friends, follow in the footsteps of the devotees. Without desire, fully depend upon this disposition of the Supreme Lord. Worship Him, the Super Soul, in devotional service. Purport. These are words of intelligence. Everyone should know that in every stage of life, we are dependent upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Dharma, religion, which we accept should be that which is recommended by Prahlad Maharaj, Bhagavad Dharma. This is the instruction of Krishna. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam saranam braja. To take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna means to act according to the rules and regulations of Bhagavad Dharma, devotional service. As far as economic development is concerned, we should discharge our occupational duties, but fully depend on the lotus feet of the Lord for the results. Karmani evadikaraste mahapaleshu kadacha. You have a right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. According to one's position, one should perform his duties, but for the results, one should fully depend upon Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur sings that our only desire should be to perform the duties of Krishna consciousness. We should not be misled by karma mimamsa philosophy, which concludes that if we work seriously, the results will come automatically. This is not a fact. The ultimate result depends upon the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In devotional service, therefore, the devotee completely depends upon the Lord and honestly performs his occupational duties. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj advised his friend to depend completely on Krishna and worship him in devotional service. So these are all nice verses, which makes it very clear that we should serve Krishna but depend on Krishna. Everything what we do, our food, what we eat, and all the things what we do, we depend on Krishna. When you're cooking, you're putting spices, we don't know how it will come out because we don't taste while cooking. But we cook in a jubilant way as an offering to Krishna, and most of the time, 99% it comes out very good. People cannot believe that we don't taste. In America, they keep on tasting while cooking. They make everything moochi. But we have seen it. We have seen with Prabhupada, we have seen with other devotees, all cooking wonderful things. Even in our homes, at least in India in those early days, my mother would not taste anything unless she is suspicious whether the salt is there or not. But generally, everything is nicely spiced. So this focus must be to please Krishna, and Krishna will give us the ability, the intelligence, the resources, the ingredients to do our service very nicely. So this is a very important verse. Follow in the
Prabhuji,
footsteps of devotees. Yeah,
which verse you read, Prabhuji? I don't know. I'm not able to follow.
48, 48.
48. Is it 7, 8, 48?
Chapter 7, chapter 7, I studied chapter 7. You want chapter 8? Okay. 48.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Sorry, but it was
1
very
minute, no
nice, this
problem.
verse. I don't want to interrupt.
No problem. Anything is all nectar anyhow. Okay. Manu
Yes.
Uvacha.
I was not able to.
Sri Manu
Yeah.
Uvacha. Manava Uvacha. Manava Vayam Tava Nideshakarino Dhitijena Deva Paribhutar Setavaha Bhavata Khalaha Sa Upasamrita Prabho Karavama Te Kim Anusadi Kinkaran. All the Manus offered their prayers as follows. As your order carriers, O Lord, we the Manus are the lawgivers for human beings, human society. But because of the temporary supremacy of this great demon, Hiranyakashipu, our laws for maintaining Varnashram Dharma was destroyed. By Lord, O Lord, now that you have killed this great demon, we are in our normal condition. Kindly order us, your eternal servants, what to do now. Purport. In many places in Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord Krishna refers to the Varnashram Dharma of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashram. He teaches people about this Varnashram Dharma so that all of the human society can live peacefully by observing the principles of the 4 social divisions and 4 spiritual divisions, Varna and Ashrama, and thus make advancement in spiritual knowledge. The Manus compiled the Manu Samhita. The word Samhita means Vedic knowledge, and Manu indicates that this knowledge is given by Manu. The Manus are sometimes incarnations of the Supreme Lord and sometimes empowered living entities. Formerly, many long years ago, Lord Krishna instructed the sun god. The Manus were generally sons of the sun god. Therefore, while speaking to the Arjuna about the importance of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Imam Vivashvato Vivashvati Yogam Proktavan Aham Abhyayam Vivashvan Manava Praha. This instruction was given to Vivashvan, the sun god, who in turn instructed to his son Manu. Manu gave the law known as Manu Samhita, which is full of directions based on Varna and Ashram, concerning how to live as a human being. These are very scientific ways of life. But under the rule of the demons like Hiranyakashipu, human society breaks all the system of law and order and gradually become lower and lower. Thus, there is no peace in the world. The conclusion is that if we want real peace and order in the human society, we must follow the principles laid down by Manu Samhita and confirmed by Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In the modern society, they don't follow Varnashram, but they cannot remove Varnashram completely because there's 4 orders like the head class, hand class, belly class, and leg class. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And nowadays, due to communism and socialism, the whole society is reduced to Shudra level. Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas also, they have come down to the Shudra level. Brahma Bandhu. They're not anymore, they're sending their children to all ordinary schools and colleges and learning all sorts of things. Generally, they also excel in their studies. And now they're going to America, here, there, Google in charge. The boys from a Brahminical background, or so many other companies, Microsoft, all these people, they actually were from very pious families. Therefore, their intelligence is also very good. But they end up doing what the demons want them to do. That's all. And the demons have put all these intelligent Indians in different positions. And they cannot say anything against the system because they get a lot of money for this work, what they're doing. And they are like purchased by the demons. The demons especially like Indians because they don't create a lot of problems. They give a lot of salary, import everybody from different. Previously, they used to get slaves from Africa. Now they're getting all the Indians from India to work in America. So this is the nature of the demons. They'll buy it, but they think they can buy off everything. But unless we follow Varnashram, where a Brahmana, he never accepts a job under anybody. He's fully independent and is fully dependent on Krishna. Who's doing that? Hardly anybody does that. So we have to be very, 1 minute, there's something happened here. We have to be fully, take the shelter of the system which Krishna has created. But if we don't do it, then we will have this type of situation. So this is one of the things which creates a lot of problem. And in the meantime, I was thinking of reading some nectar of this particular time which we have. Yesterday was Sarat Purnima here. Saradiya Rasa Yatra, disappearance of Murari Gupta, disappearance of Tridandi Swami, Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj was the sannyas guru of Srila Prabhupada. So I would like to read a few things which sort of gives us a little input. Okay. Let us see if there are different concepts. Even Damodar Leela also starts now. In this Kartik month, so many important events have taken place. First is it starts with the Samadhi of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Murari Gupta, and Saradhya Ras Purnima. This is the Ras dance where the Radharani and their associates were glorified. There is another Rasa dance which is called Vasanta Panchami. That is for all the gopis. Munichari gopis, all these gopis, they were all part of it. Whereas in this Saradhya Ras Purnima is only Radharani and her parikars, they were glorified by Krishna. And then there is a Gopi Geet was sung in this month. Venu Geet was also sung in this month. Prabhupada took Samadhi in this month. Bhakti Rakshidhar Maharaj took Samadhi in this month. I mean, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj also took Samadhi in the last day of this month. So almost all major acharyas, they appeared in this month. And many pastimes, lifting Govardhan Hill were also done in this month. So I will just read a few things so that you get an idea how, let me see. Just hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, now some nectar is coming from purebhakti.com. The first day of Kartik Vrata by Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. And I was also there at that time. So then we will see now. This very day, Saradhya Rasa Purnima, the full moon day on which Krishna's autumn Rasa Leela began, is important in so many ways. On this day, my Gurudev entered Nitya Leela, Shri Radha Krishna's eternal pastime. It is because He has entered Nitya Leela. That's why we address him as Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astutarati Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Now, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj is closely related to Srila Prabhupada. He was instrumental and he gave the sannyas order to Srila Prabhupada and the name Bhaktivedanta Swami. So he was not anybody. He was very closely connected to Prabhupada. He was his very dear disciple, God brother, who encouraged him to take sannyas so that he could go to the West and fulfill the desire of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he left on this day during Saradya Ras Purnima when the moon was rising in Navadvip Dham. Navadvip Dham is non-different from Vrindavan Dham, and in some ways it is superior. Though both are the same, in some respects it is superior. Navadvip Dham, Gaur Dham, and Gaur Nam, the holy name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, do not take any offense. By their mercy we can enter Vrindavan. By their mercy we can attain the mercy of Vrindavan and the mercy of the divine couple Shri Radha Krishna. Without the mercy of Gaur Nityananda, we cannot enter the realm of bhakti. Are you all able to hear me? Hello? Haribol? Haribol?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, very good. Very important. Because this is such a rare nectar which you are going to hear. We are told to observe the appearance and the disappearance days of Vaishnavas and Gurus both days. But we never observe the disappearance days of Krishna or Mahaprabhu and their manifestation. We can celebrate the appearance day of Krishna as well, that of his incarnations like Rama, Narsingha, Kalki, Vamanadevi, so on. But nowhere is the celebration of his disappearance days described in the Shastra. There are many reasons for this. We observe the appearance and the disappearance days of Gurudev and Vaishnavas. On the appearance day of Gurudev, we perform Vyasa Puja because Gurudev is a manifestation of Srila Vyasadeva, the literary incarnation of Krishna. We also observe the birthday of Vyasadeva. We observe the appearance and the disappearance days of Srila Rupa Goswami and the Acharyas in disciple succession, but never the disappearance days of Krishna and his manifestation. When a Vaishnava takes birth, his glory is not manifested. No one knows the glory of that Vaishnava. Whereas from the first day of the birth of Krishna and Mahaprabhu, or any manifestation of Krishna, their glory is known. Regarding Vaishnavas, for example, when Parama Pujya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada was born, his glory was not seen. When he took sannyas, very little was seen. After his taking sannyas, he preached throughout the world, and at that time his glory was somewhat seen. Then after his disappearance, it became known, oh, how glorious he is. We can remember his glory. In this way, a Vaishnava and a Guru's disappearance day is more essential and glorious than his disappearance day. This day is more important because we can consider so many aspects of his glory and we can remember all his pastimes. As today is the disappearance day of our Guru Maharaj, today I am remembering the entirety of his pastime from the beginning, how he preached to the entire world, how he was most dear to his Gurudev, how he gave his everything, never keeping anything for himself. Out of love, his Gurudev used to call him Dokla. Dokla means very foolish, meaning that he was never thinking of himself, but always thinking of his Gurudev. Spiritually, it does not really mean foolish. It really means not thinking of oneself. He never kept even one paisa for himself. In turn, Srila Gurudev used to call his Gurudev Bokara Jahaj. Bokar Jahaj. Jahaj means ship and Bokar means foolish. As a ship is full of various cargoes, Bokar Jahaj means a brain full of foolishness. Why did he call Srila Prabhupada? Bokar Jahaj? It was because Prabhupada had so much love and affection. He never did anything for himself. Never. He gave his whole self to his own Gurudev and to his disciples. With this quality of his being Bokar Jahaj, He showered his full mercy upon my Guru Maharaj, who is now very easily worshipped throughout the world. Whereas my Gurudev never kept a paisa for himself. Nowadays, disciples are very wise. It is rare that someone really have nothing in their pocket. But nowadays, all are very intelligent with 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Actually, this is real foolishness. It is most boker. Those who keep things for themselves cannot understand Guru Seva. Prabhupada also same thing. He never kept for himself. And he followed the instruction of his Guru. That is, when you get money, print books. And he was doing that. And he had a certain formula. 50% of whatever collection he would get from sales of books was reused immediately for printing books. 25% emergency, 25% for building temples. One of my Gurudev's friends, Param Puja Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, came to America and made a very good platform for him. Srila Swami Maharaj told him, now you can come and throughout the world you will be worshipped by sincere devotees. In 1940, when Gurudev established Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti in Calcutta, his most intimate friend Abhay Charana Ravinda Prabhu, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj's name in his previous ashram, was present at that as the other establisher. Thus, this Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti is also of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's. He has helped establish it. So, in this way, a lot of glories are mentioned here. And when we saw that he was about to leave the world, who Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati or Bhakti Pragyan, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The disciples began to chant. While we were singing Kirtan, we wept. We kept his photo of his Gurudev and Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu in front of him. And he was uttering Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And then he left. All began to weep. See? What is the meaning of viraha? Generally understood as separation. Our Gurudev used to explain its significance. Vi means in a special way. Raha means meeting. Thus, viraha means meeting internally in a special way by prema. For example, Srimati Radhika and the gopis used to meet with Krishna in Vrindavan when he was in Mathura. They were always thinking and thinking of him, totally absorbed. Krishna used to directly manifest in Vrindavan and meet with them. They would think that they are seeing him in a dream or a spurti, but actually he had come to them. In Gambhira, Mahaprabhu was full with the intrinsic mood of Radha, and in Viraha was always totally absorbed in the passions of Krishna. So these are all, Vaishnava Viraha is also there. Viraha from Krishna is also there. Ram, there's another part. Ram sent Sita out from his kingdom, and Lakshman took her to Valmiki's ashram. Just before Ram's pastime were to come to an end in this world, he called for her. Valmiki then brought her and her 2 sons to Ram's assembly. Hundreds and thousands of Ayodhya residents were assembled there, including Ram's mother Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. Valmiki was walking in front. Sita's head was lowered as she held the hands of her sons Lava and Kusha in her own hands and walked into the silent, awe-filled assembly. Ram gave a signal to Sita, to give Sita a place to sit. After which she and Love and Kusha sat down along with Valmiki. Rama announced, I know that Sita is pure. I know that there is not a black spot on her. I have no doubt. I am a king and I must maintain my dharma. So I had to send the queen out of the kingdom. But I always kept Sita in my heart. My desire is that in front of everybody, let her purity be established. When Sita heard this, she stood up and folded her palms and declared, is proof still needed? All right, I will give you the proof. Then she said 3 times, O Prithvi, Mother Earth, if I am pure, please open yourself and take me in your lap. If I have never touched any other man but Ram, even in my mind or heart, Open yourself and take me into your lap. If in my helpless condition someone touched my body, I cannot say anything about that. But in my mind, I have not given any place to anybody but Ram. O Prithvi Devi, please open up. In this way, Sita Devi prayed 3 times to Mother Earth. At that moment, Mother Prithvi Devi rose up, now opened the earth on a golden chariot and took Sita on her lap, and then they both disappeared to the earth. So this is all very, very interesting pastime. And because this is the first day of this Kartik month, and we took, I was there, and there was a very, very detailed classes we used to hear from Maharaj. And why it is called Urja month? Gurudev disappearance day in Kartik month took place on Saradya Ras. What can I say of the glories of this month? You should know its glories. Srimati Radhika is called Urjeshwari, the mistress of all power. And this entire month is called Urja month. Urja means power or Shakti. Krishna can only wish, but he cannot do anything to fulfill his wish. He depends on Srimati Radhika for everything. He can wish and she can fulfill. Do not think that Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. Srimati Radhika lifted it. Krishna can only desire to do whatever he wants to do. That is why Srimati Radhika is Urjeshwari. As stated in the Brahma Gayatri, Savitur Varenyam, Urja Shakti is the source of the light of the sun. The sun's light comes from Radhika. Radhika is Varanyam. She is worshipped by the sun. She is worshipful by the sun, who gives heat and light. The Brahma Gayatri mantra concludes that the words Diyo Yona Prachodaya. We meditate on Srimati Radhika and pray that she will come in our heart. We pray that she will manifest her beauty so that we can all see how beautiful she is. So another meaning of Urja is Bhakti or Prema or Prema. Prema is the purest love for Sri Krishna. Comes from the heart of Radhika, not from Krishna. He is the taster. He is the relisher of love and affection. But that love and affection comes from Radhika's heart. She gives Urja, the power of prema, love and affection to all, even to Krishna. Krishna cannot exist, remain alive without her. Without her, he would be Nirvishesha Brahman, the formless, qualityless spirit so whole. That is why Radhaji is Urjeshwari. Without worshipping her, we cannot achieve Krishna. Because Radhika is the predominating deity of Kartik month, she is also called Damodari. Krishna is Damodar and Radhika is Damodari. Without Radhika, no one can bind Krishna permanently. Mother Yashoda can bind him for a day, but Radhika can bind him forever. So there are so many beautiful things. During this month of Kartik month, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill on the very day of Govardhan Puja, just before the full moon of this month. And Deepavali, the day on which Mother Yashoda bound her son Krishna, also took place in this month. Deepa means light, and real light manifests in the form of Bhakti Tattva, or the established truth of pure devotion service. Krishna Tattva, or the established truths about the Supreme Lord. Maya Tattva, the truth of this deluding world. Jiva Tattva, the truth of eternal spirit soul. All this knowledge is light. Knowledge of all this Tattva comes from Srimati Radhika. Krishna left the Rasa dance on this day, in this month, thus feeling great separation from him. The gopis sang their Gopi Geet in this month. They also sang their Venu Geet and some of these verses. Sukadeva Goswami said, this Vrindavan forest was filled with transparent autumnal water and cooled by the breezes, perfumed with the fragrance of lotus flowers growing in the clear lakes. The infallible Lord, accompanied by the cows and cowherd boyfriends, entered Vrindavan forest. Parhapidam Nadavarapu Karnyu Karnikaram Vibratvasa Kanaka Kapisam Vajayantim Chamala Randram Venur Adara Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrindaranyam Swapada Renu Ramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. Wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue karnikara flower on his ears, the yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vaidanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendent form as the greatest of the dancer as he entered the forest of Vrindavan. Beautifying it with the marks of his footprints, he filled the holes of his throat with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd voice sang his glories. So these are all the so many things. In this month, although child Krishna was tied to his mother's grinding mortar, he gave mukti, meaning bhakti, to Nalakuvera and Manigriva. As stated in the Damodar Ashtakam, he not only delivered them, but he gave them positions as singers, Madhu Kanta and Snigdha Kanta, in his own assemblies in Goloka Vrindavan. O Lord Damodar, Kuberatma Jau Bhatta Murtaiva Yadvat Vaya Mochitau Bhakti Bhajau Kritaucha, Tata Bhakti Prema Bhaktim Swakamya Prayacha Namokshe Grahomi Asti Damodara. O Lord Damodar, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with a rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give it to me, your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. In this month, along with us associates, the Brajavasis, the Krishna performed worship of the cows and calves, Gopuja, Brahmana, and the Govardhan Hill. In this month, they performed Govardhan Parikrama. So all these things happened in this month. In this month, Saradya Purnima took place, but it did not last for only 1 month. Even Krishna himself could not conceive how long it lasted. Not the gopis. Only Yoga Maya knew. The moon stopped in one place, not moving at all, and the sun stayed on the opposite side of the Rasa dance. If the sun had made its presence there, would not have been Rasa. So the sun also stopped in one place. All these pastimes were performed in the month of Kartik. In this way, this month is very, very high. Any questions, comments of this wonderful description of Kartik month? Wow. I mean, if you read these pastimes and all this understanding given by pure devotees, it is such a nectar. Then we understand the significance of this month. And of course, every day there is a festival. There's a parikrama going on in Vrindavan, and there are pastimes going on, and you hear so many about pastimes. So those who are very advanced devotees, they can describe these pastimes very, very nicely. And the more we are attached to hearing this pastime, the more we will become free from all our anarthas. So if there are any questions or comments, please ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, do we have to do the Deepdan morning and evening, or if we just do in the evening, it's
Both.
all
I do both time.
okay.
The Mangalarti itself, I do a Deepdan, and
Okay.
in the evening also we do Deepdan.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Like yesterday, I just did it in the evening time, and I did the Damodar Ashtakam
No
prayer.
problem. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Evening also is good. Morning also is good. I mean, after all, this Kartik month is to worship Krishna.
Right.
So if you do more times, it is not a mistake. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanat Pranam, all Krishna Prabhupada. Such a nice
Right.
class reflecting upon the demonic qualities and how we need to be aware, worry of, and guard ourselves against those influences because the sadhu life in Kali Yuga especially, and you have also pointed out who are Bhadralok who are really demons, but in the garb of Bhadralok. So we have rightly pointed out the Raja Ram Mohan Rai and the creed. It is very important to reflect upon them, and because we are always surrounded by them, and the demonic general population, they glorify them, and it happened with the British influence. Yes, so it's very important because this and the glorification of the Lord by the inhabitants of various planets, also pointing out the demonic tendencies that that prevented the Varnashrama Dharma from being implemented. And now also we see that there's no Varnashrama Dharma. The Sudras are making a king. So the Sudra is making a king. That king will be also another Sudra. So that is a problem. America is very much visible, and so this is the situation. So very, very important to reflect upon where we are and how to get out of this situation, because the situation is very precarious. And the only way is in this age is Harinam and the shelter of Sadguru and Krishna through the channel of
Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Katira.
Yes,
So
yes.
in the association of pure devotees, one should take the holy name and one should practice it every day. Just like breathing air, it should become part of our life. We cannot imagine living if you don't breathe air. You have to continuously breathe. Similarly, you have to continuously Kirtanaya Sadahari.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is very.
And even the school. Yeah. And the influence of the Kali is so strong that unless you have clear conviction, we have firstly, number one, come in contact with the sadhus and read the scripture from a sadhu, heard the katha from the sadhu, and practice them, imbibe them, practice them. Then it's very difficult to have a conviction about the real Bhagavad Dharma, the way of Bhagavad Dharma in the current age. I mean, even within the devotee communities, it's seen a lot of time they're under influence. I mean, though they're putting on the garb of Vaishnavas, but such impurities are creeping in from here and there in different ways. Yeah,
either we become Guru Chela or we become Kali Chela.
Kali Chela,
One of the
yes.
two chelas.
Kali Chela, I mean,
you have to follow those principles very nicely. Geeta, you have any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I'm good. Thank you so much for a very, very inspiring class.
So we will sing a little bhajan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana
Yashoda
Jajanandana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jai Radha
Madhava Kunja Vihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिधरधारी
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
जमुना तीरा वनचारी
यमुना तीर वनचारी
यमुना तीरा वनचारी
यमुना तीर वनचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna, Hare
हरे
Hare, Hare
हरे
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama Rama,
हरे
Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna,
हरे 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 राम हरे हरे हरे
जय दामोदरा राधा दामोदरा राधा दामोदरा
जय दामोदरा राधा दामोदर जय दामोदरा जय राधा दामोदर
जय दामोदरा राधा दामोदरा राधा दामोदरा
जय दामोदरा जय
Damodar, Jai
दामोदर जय
Damodar,
राधा
Damodar.
जय निताय जय गौर जय निताय जय गौर
जय निताय जय गौर जय निताय जय गौर
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा
जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा
गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
Hare
Hari
Bol,
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 बोल
Bol,
Bol,
Hare
Bol.
बोल हरि
बोल
बोल
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि
बोल
हरि
श्रील
बोल
प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील
जय
गुरुदेव की जय
Jai,
कौन
जय
सा राधा रमन गिरिराज की
Jai,
गोपियों की जय
जय
श्री राधा दामोदर जी की जय हो दामोदर यशोदा दामोदर की जय हो
जय
Jai.
ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय श्रील
जय
प्रभुपाद purports की
जय
जय समस्त कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय all glory to Srimad Lord Hare Krishna all glory to Srimad Lord Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्णा
yeah.
all glory to
Hare
Srimad Lord
Krishna.
Hare all glories Shri Guru and Gauranga all glory to Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada की जय
Jai,
जय
पत्तरों से पास निकले पाचे तरह पाप वैष्णव
मुनिभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि
जय हो
वैष्णव
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada.
Jai.
His
Jai.
Grace Ramchandra Prabhu.
Ramgiri
Jai.
Babaji ki jai.
All Radha Damodar ki jai.
Jai.
Thank
Hari
you so much, Prabhuji.
Hari
You set us with the mood for Kartik for the whole month now. Urja month. Thank you. And also, Prabhuji, I noticed that since the Kartik month started, we are down south Florida. The weather has become so nice. So I think everything about, because we are in the material world, so the
Jai.
weather has become so pleasant ever since Kartik. Mataji is also wearing a sweater, Chitra Mataji. So, we are Krishna literally released us. I mean, this is a proof which we can, have in our life. The weather has become cooler. We can feel the breeze so nice. The moon, the Sharad Purnima moon was like so glowing. So I can imagine how it must be in the Dham. It must be so nice. Yeah.
Well, this is also Krishna's abode. We are living in Krishna's abode. Very good. I mean, even though America has a lot of problems of floods in different parts of North Carolina, South Carolina, a lot of problems are there. Everything is sinking. 2 tidal waves have come. 2 storms have come, Milton and something else. So there are also, it's not a peaceful place. America also has the same type of problems like everywhere in the world.
Yes, this is what Gopal also said when he came here. He thought he saw people on the like a street begging. So he thought, I thought India was a poor country, but I see here hippies and all these people. So he immediately, with his such a huge, humongous, intelligent mind, Prabhupada immediately could understand that, ये तो पूरा passion और उसमें डूबे हुए हैं सब. So, so that's why we have to be careful. Yeah.
You should only feel you're very lucky things are going on smoothly in your life. Otherwise, you're not otherwise you'll be part of the main, go where the herd goes. Haribol.
Yeah.
So have a
Mataji's
nice
daughter
day
is there.
then. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Chitra Mataji, your daughter, can we see your daughter one time? Oh, so sweet. Haribol.
Ada Haribol kada.
So
Hare
nice.
You're sweet.
No. No.
Oh, so sweet.
No, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले उठी
Hare
वो।
Krishna. So we can finally end the call. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Happy Kartik month.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.